Hi, my name is Suraj and I'm going to be today talking about how I improved my English. So I am from Pune, India, and I studied in Marathi Medium school for first 16 years of my life. And then came a point where I joined junior college and I was around all the people who were from convent and English medium school, and I was damn nervous and I couldn't even speak English, one line of English properly, and that really sort of shook my confidence and like tore me apart to be able to also even believe what I was good at, that I could do it. So it was a huge challenge to improve English, and I'm going to be focusing and sort of telling you my story or my journey of how I did that, how I solved that challenge. So when I entered Ferguson College in 11th standard, as I told you, I was in the class of people who were from convent and English medium school, and I needed to motivate myself to be able to start on this journey to improve my English. So what I thought is, I'm very calculative, so what I thought is that the other people who already know English are at a 80% level where they already know 80% of the language, and I have scope of only 20%, whereas I am exactly opposite, where I know just 20% and 80% scope. So that's how I sort of tried to motivate myself to be able to start. The first English movie which I watched on my computer that time was Fast and Furious 5 in 2011, quite late. Till then I couldn't even speak one line of English properly. And firstly I watched it and I couldn't understand anything. The second time I put on earphones and watched it again like this, still did not get anything. Then I put on subtitles and then I watched it again, and I think I got like 20-30% of the gist of what they were trying to say and what was happening in the movie. So then on, I made it a habit that I watched every single English movie. I pretty much I tried to cover. I also watched all the Oscar movies. Starting from then, all the movies which won Oscars, whether it was Whiplash, the recent which came out, and all of those. And it was a fun experience. So what I made sure is that every time I watched a movie or a series or a show, I started jotting down on the new words which I was learning in the notebook and started writing meanings of it. So I think so far I must have filled 5 notebooks in last 5 years. So it was really nice to sort of adding new books. One more exercise which I did parallelly along with this is that whenever I was traveling, whether by my car or bike or public transport, I used to recite myself in English what I was looking at. So whatever, let's say I'm crossing the road and I'm seeing the things, I'm basically talking to myself in English about what I'm looking at and whatnot. So that again sort of made it very familiar for me to describe the things in English. Because a lot of times what happens is that if our first language is not English, then we think in first language and try to convert it into English, which becomes extremely difficult, because that's not the right way you should do it. You should think in English so that then you can communicate in English. So that was a real crux sort of started thinking in English. So that was second exercise. Then around I was 18, that time I had gotten how I can frame sentences and do a grammar mistake free English. But what was happening is that I was not getting the accent right. So a lot of times, as I said, that first language, if it's not English, then you tend to speak decent English, but since the accent is not right, so you don't feel much confident about to communicate in English. So in order to improve that, I subconsciously changed my social circle. So I made sure I started hanging out with the friends who used to talk not in mother tongue but English all the time. And that what it did is it gave me confidence to be able to interact on a day-to-day basis in English. And I used to ask them, very shamelessly, I used to ask them if I say something, I used to ask them, did I say that sentence correctly? What was the mistakes in those? Try to understand, analyze. And likewise, I started doing that exercise more. And eventually, I got the accent right. The major validation of this, that I have improved my English significantly, was when I wanted to go for my master's 2 years back in the United States. I eventually dumped my US visa and stayed here instead. So in that visa process, what happens is that you and interviewer have a glass in between, and both of you are placed at 1 feet apart from that glass. And interviewer has the mic and you have the speaker to basically understand the questions and answer them accordingly. That time, if you cannot hear the question, and if you say, can you repeat the question, or sorry, or pardon me, it's a very negative impact. And because of certain incidences, I had to go through the visa interview twice in that for student visa. And both the times it didn't happen that I had to do that even once. Whereas my other friends who were from convent or English medium, they said that they told me that they didn't understand questions, so they had to repeat the question or at least couple of times in their visa interviews. So I felt really awesome about what progress I had done. The reason behind making this video was also that every year I get at least 2 to 3 calls asking me how I improved my English, and they also want to understand my journey and like what exercises I did to be able to get there. Because to be really honest, what happens is that if you are not good at English, your confidence gets shattered to such an extent that I know few people who have left the job and started earning lesser than they were because they were not feeling confident in the group to communicate in English. This is worst. I don't think any language or any barrier should come in between of you and your dreams. When we say today English is a global language, it gives you as much as exposure as it can as compared to other languages. I think it's absolutely easy to get or win this war with English and to sort of learn it as good as your first tongue or mother tongue or first language. So I think it's not that difficult. I have already told the exercises. Do let me know if you guys are facing some other problems in terms of communicating well with the English or any other challenges in comment sections below, and would love to take that up ahead. And any of the doubts, feel free to go ahead and shoot it to me. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my content, do like, share and subscribe. I'll be coming out with a lot more content to share it with you guys. Thank you so much guys. Bye bye.